If you've got the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, I've got what I think is probably the single most useful set of accessories that a lot of people aren't really talking about, and I don't want to hold out any longer and show you exactly what I'm working with, so you're going to want to watch this video. Now, this isn't a comprehensive list of all the accessories that I use and love for the DJI Pocket 3. I am gonna make a video that covers those things, but in this video, I'm actually gonna talk about a sort of rig setup that I have that's a collection of a handful of different accessories, all for one purpose. And again, I don't really hear anybody talking about this, so let me just do a little bit of studio magic. Bam. So this is my rig setup for the Pocket 3, and let me break it down to you because it's a few different accessories, and a lot of people ask me how I'm getting the shots that I'm getting in some of my other videos that I'm making, so I'd love to show you some of my secrets. And I'm sorry, I know that trick was a little bit corny. Hit the like button if you can appreciate the effort. All right, so let me break this down. So I'm gonna pull the Pocket 3 off of this here, and you'll see as I'm tearing this down, I'll show you piece by piece. It's got the extended battery in here, which is actually what in this little cage that's meant for the Pocket 3 as part of this rig. It's screwed in with that extended battery. You can also just use the base handle that comes with the Pocket 3, or the Creator Combo comes with both. But in this particular case, I've got the extended battery, so you just kind of want to screw that. You can really just do that with your fingers, screw it in and out, but that is the screw on the bottom of this that kind of locks that into place. So I'm gonna take this apart and show you each piece. Okay, so here's everything taken apart, and so I'm just gonna start one by one. I'll set these aside here. Obviously, this is the Pocket 3 and the battery. So this is the Tilta expansion adapter or cage. And I know there's a few of these on the market, but this is hands down, at least in terms of the ones that I've looked at and my assessment, the best one on the market. So it's got a few key features that I think make this just a really functional cage or expansion adapter for the Pocket 3. The first one is that it's just got the NATO rails on each side here, and that's gonna be really integral in getting this thing together with some side handles. So obviously that is gonna be imperative to have. And then on top of that, you've got the 1/4-20 screw holes in here, so you can mount things a number of different ways, but I use just the rails themselves, at least for this rig setup, but there's some options here with that. Now you are gonna find some 1/4-20 screw holes on the bottom, and those are totally usable, but I just really have never mounted it that way. I generally just mount this on its own with either the extra battery handle or the base. But in this particular case, they're on there. They are off to the side a little bit, so if you're gonna use it that way, just know you can't mount it on the center. If you're somebody like me who's got a little bit of OCD, you might find that a little funky. And this thing is just really, really well made, well constructed. I believe it's aluminum alloy, and this thing is really, really just, it just feels just like a solid piece of gear. So obviously that's an important piece here, but the next important piece you're gonna have is just gonna be the handles themselves. There's a number of these on the market you can find, but personally, I have just found these newer brand handles. These are great grips for really any camera that you wanted to use a handle with. This is the newer brand, and they've got a few different ones of those, but this particular one, I'm gonna put a link to all of this, by the way, in the description. So if you wanna pick any or all of these things up, feel free to do so. It is an Amazon affiliate link, so it does support the channel, but just to let you know, anything that I've got in this video will be down in the description. So these are great, and one of the things I think is great, well, for one, they've got the NATO rail grips here, and they're super strong grips, but they're also completely adjustable on this side with just the twist of an Allen wrench here. And so if you need to adjust, you know, the size of them, which I'll show you how I do that on this, you've got that option here. And other than that, they've got the cold shoe mounts on top of this, which are gonna come in handy for sure. So really pretty simple. You just wanna slide these bad boys on here and crank this until you've got it tight. It's good to just put it on a flat surface. And of course, again, if you had a different sized mount that you're putting this on for a different camera, that's where this adjustment is gonna come in handy. So the other one, it's exactly the same. These come by themselves, but I just bought two of these. This one I just flip around. Same deal, just slide it into this NATO rail, crank it until you've got a good connection here. And again, these things feel real solid. Just give them an extra little crank, and then you wanna make sure that these are sitting nice and level here. And then really the next magical piece here is this small rig phone mount. And why this is important for this particular setup is because if you're using the DJI Pocket 3, good news is you've got yourself a screen on there. And so that's a great feature on the Pocket 3, but we all know that it's a little bit small. So if you really want to upgrade to a nicer size screen, if you're shooting nice smooth footage, for instance, if you want to shoot some nice slow push-ins or some nice pan shots, shooting some B-roll for whatever reason. I'm a real estate agent and I have another channel where I shoot a variety of home tours, and that comes in super handy in getting those shots. And I'll put some of those shots up on the screen so you can see exactly how this rig and camera perform. But that's where this comes in handy, so that you can connect to that DJI Mimo app, and then all you got to do is fire it up, connect it to your Pocket 3, and you've got a nice big screen from your phone. So this particular one is the small rig phone mount. Again, it'll be linked down below. It's really nice, solid construction. It's got, you know, a couple different options that you can crank this thing, because the hinges are nice and movable, but they're firm, like you know they're gonna stay in place once you get them in place. And it's got a nice little cold shoe mount. The good thing is with that 1/4 inch screw down here, you could mount this to anything. So if you just needed a good phone clip to put on a regular stand, that's an option here. But of course, with that cold shoe, you can mount it directly on this, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So let me set this down for just a moment, and I'll show you exactly how we slide this extended battery handle in here. Pretty simple, you just slide it right in. The cool thing about this expansion cage is that it allows for a charging cable to be plugged in, so you've still got access back here. And then, of course, on the bottom, you've got that little screw. You just crank it, goes directly into the 1/4 inch in the bottom of that extended battery handle. And then all you got to do is take your Pocket 3 and snap it into place. So let me turn this thing around here as I would hold it to shoot, and we're going to mount this guy right here and crank it right into place. And now that you've got this nice and tight, like I said, this thing really does adjust. I wish you could feel it through the camera, but it's nice and firm. So, you know, it moves easily, but once you get it in place, you know it's going to stay. And I always just crank this thing down, and that way you've got your phone perfectly facing you. It's really the perfect, I mean, the setup is just amazing for getting the perfect smooth shots. I'll show you what it looks like with my phone. Now, how is that for a rig for your DJI Pocket 3? And I'll show you right here. You can see, of course, you've got the fully adjustable screen here. I mean, again, I'm totally grateful that the Pocket 3 comes with this little screen on it, but let's be honest, that is way more usable, especially when you're really trying to get that perfect shot. You're trying to do a push in or some nice pans. And when I'm out shooting real estate content, let me tell you, this comes in so handy, and it just feels so good in your hands. So I don't know, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of this rig setup? Is this something that you could use? And of course, you've seen some of the footage that I've shot. I'm really curious to know, for whatever reason, I've not heard anybody talking about a rig like this. So I think this is just a perfect kind of a hack, and I wanted to share it with you. So thanks for checking in, guys. I appreciate all you watching the videos on this channel. I'm gonna continue to share each piece of gear or camera or tech that I get, and I appreciate each and every one of you watching. Subscribe if you wanna watch more like this. And guys, until next time, I'll see you on the next one.